A massive protest erupted at the Iowa State House over a bill that would remove civil rights protections for transgender Iowans.
The bill advanced through subcommittee and committee today. It's now ready for a full vote on the House floor.
KCCI chief political reporter Amanda Rooker is live at the State House. Amanda, you were there during the protest. What did you see?
Stacey, it was loud, it was emotional, and it may be quiet and pretty empty here in the State House right now, but this area was packed with hundreds of protesters earlier today. I was also in the subcommittee hearing when this bill first advanced, and after it did, there was some clapping and some celebrating. There were some supporters of the bill in the room. I also heard shouts of anger, and when I walked outside of the State House, there were some people crying on the steps, worried that transgender Iowans are going to lose their civil rights.
Protesters shouted in the Iowa State House as lawmakers considered a bill to strip away civil rights protections for transgender Iowans. Chanting drowned out the sound of speakers voicing support for the bill. It put the House subcommittee hearing on pause.
The protesters are going to have to be quiet because both sides have a right to be heard. They either need to be moved away from the doors and protest somewhere else so that both sides can be heard.
A video posted by Democratic Representative Brian Meyer shows state troopers removing protesters from the hallway outside the meeting room. Protesters continued shouting as LGBTQ advocates inside the subcommittee hearing pleaded with lawmakers.
Have you ever been discriminated against just for being who you are, just for existing as yourself? I have. And I can tell you it is dehumanizing, it is demeaning, it is disheartening, and it is terrifying. That's with the laws and the power of the state behind us to protect us. I cannot imagine how much worse that discrimination would be if the state we live in chooses to abandon that protection.
Republican Representative Samantha Fett praised the bill, which would also create new definitions for male and female based on a person's reproductive system at birth.
And there is clarity and truth. And the truth is there are only two sexes, no gender identities, and infinite personalities.
State lawmakers have already passed laws restricting which bathrooms transgender Iowans can use, banning transgender girls from playing girls' sports, and banning gender transition procedures for minors. Fett says Iowa's civil rights code needs to change to ensure that those laws are followed.
Protect me as a woman. Protect our daughters in our locker rooms, in our bathrooms, in our sports, so we don't have biological males in those spaces. And as current code stands, those protections are at risk, which is why this bill is important.
The bill advanced, prompting both applause and anger, and more protesting in the State House rotunda.
Now, Iowa is one of 23 states and the District of Columbia that has gender identity as a protected class under their Civil Rights Act. That means that someone cannot face discrimination when it comes to employment, housing, or credit just because they are transgender. Now, that gender identity classification was added to Iowa's Civil Rights Act in 2007. That was back when Democrats had control of the Iowa House, the Senate, and the governor's office. If Iowa was to remove gender identity from its Civil Rights Act, we would be the first state to do so. Live from the State House, Amanda Rooker, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Okay, Amanda, people are very passionate about this. Thank you for bringing us up to speed on where things stand now.